So, as you guys know, Brendan's had a little bit of a tete-a-tete with Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano. So we're going to go through all the clips and we're going to get to the end where essentially Brendan claps back at Renato, and it's probably the most obnoxious, insufferable version of Brendan when he's trying to act like he's right, be smarmy, condescending, insulting. It's just a really strange reply and clap back to Renato.
Moicano turns down $200K settlement check in a bizarre display of UFC solidarity. Here's the thing, Moicano. That money is...
By the way, I like how he mispronounces his name. Moicano. It's Moicano, right? It's Moicano. It's not Moicano, but yeah, big up, you know. This guy can barely pronounce English words. He's not going to pronounce a fucking Portuguese surname, is he?
Getting allocated no matter what, buddy. No matter what. You being a company man and not taking it doesn't give you an inch of good grace with the UFC. This does not matter.
But maybe it does, though. I know he's saying it doesn't, but maybe it does, because maybe Renato's never going to become a champion again. But doing stuff like this, being somewhat a bit of a company man, will put him in the good graces of Dana. Dana's still going to look at it favorably and probably not going to cut him anytime soon. So yes, he's not going to get a championship fight anytime soon, but he's probably not going to get cut even if he goes on a 4-loss streak or something, 5-loss streak. So maybe in the long term it's better because he's going to pick up a check for every fight, but he's not going to get cut if he loses every fight. Big up Salaziz.
Macarena done get it. More money means more kibidak.
Exactly. And there's a fundamental difference in their philosophy and worldview because Brendan just never understands the notion of turning down. For instance, remember when Brendan was saying, "Oh, I will do TFATK without the money. We're not in it for the money. We do it because we love it." It's like, for somebody that can do stuff for and not do it for monetary gain, he seems to really lack any understanding of somebody doing something and not taking the money, or not doing something for monetary gain. He seems to really have a hard time understanding it.
There's guys that are more famous than you that are fighting right now that are taking their settlement. You will never make more money than when you fought Islam for the belt. That will never happen to you again. And your wife's fucking pregnant. You have a fucking young kid. You're never going to be champion. And you want to give up $200,000.
That's kind of disrespectful, isn't it? No? Talking about somebody's finances is one thing, you know, pocket watching is one thing, but then mentioning their wife and their child, essentially calling the man a bad husband, a bad father, especially Brendan with this kind of like fake baseball dad, present dad thing going on, because essentially got caught cheating and had to stay at home now and quit stand-up comedy, and now he's doing this whole like cosplaying, LARPing as a fucking present dad. But for the most part, you know, for the early part of his kid's life, he was not present and touring around the country and not giving a fuck and letting his wife just look after the kids by herself. But now that he's, you know, doing this whole baseball dad LARP thing, imagine if somebody else tried to question his parenting. If someone tried to refer to him as not being a beast of a dad, imagine how he would take it. So yes, maybe Moicano kind of, you know, insulted some of his comedy and hit under the belt, but Brendan was kind of disrespectful in this rant. He didn't need to add all that extra spice. He could have just said, "Hey, take the money. Don't be a company man. Don't be fucking stupid. Take the fucking money." But he didn't need to add those little bits in there. Like insinuate that he's a bad husband, insinuate that he's a bad father because he's not taking the check from the UFC.
Just so you know, Moicano, Dana bets with $200,000 every night.
And why is he shouting as well? Why is he getting so angry and animated? It's got nothing to do with you. And surely if this settlement is the way I think it is, wouldn't Moicano not taking the money mean that he gets a part of that money? Wouldn't that money then get divvied out to everybody else? Whoever doesn't collect it in time, wouldn't that rest of it get divvied out? So why would you be bothered? I don't understand why he's being so angry, especially with somebody as well who has been trying to suck up to Dana for the last, you know, few years. You know, him and Dana clearly don't get along, or Dana fucking hates him. But Brendan's trying to get back into his good graces and suck him off. It's a weird stance to have, but I just don't understand the vitriol and the fucking anger he's coming towards fucking Renato here. So it doesn't make any sense.
Like it ain't shit. So if you think in his mind he's going, well, Moicano didn't take the money, let's hook this guy up. You don't know the fucking world, dude. And you're in the fucking...
See how insulting it is. You don't know the fucking world, dude. You're a shit dad. You're a shit husband. You're dumb.
Most cutthroat business in the world, and you're letting it pass you by. But you think you're being a good company man with a company that could give 2 fucks about you.
Do you think Brendan thinks Renato is dumb because he's not from England, or because he's not American, because he comes from a country outside of America? Do you think Brendan has that kind of way of thinking? Because he speaks with an accent, because he speaks somewhat broken English, because English is his second language, or it's not his first language. Do you think Brendan just thinks people who are not from America are just dumb? It's just a weird. It's interesting because he's really dumb. So it's interesting why he thinks just because he's American that he's smart when he's maybe the most dumbest person we've ever seen in fucking content ever.
It's mind-blowing. Renato Moicano turns down 2.
So that was a clip that went viral. Then Renato Moicano actually replied in the comments, right? And said it's nothing to do with the UFC. I don't expect the UFC to treat me well because of this. The UFC is a company. A company doesn't like you, quote unquote. They want profit. This is about principles. I knew about the deal. I signed the contract. A contract is nothing more than your word. I'm not going back on my word just to gain a financial benefit. I don't expect anyone to understand that. Again, I don't personally agree with it. I understand his point of view. I don't agree with it. I think he should have just taken the money anyway. But he's plainly laid clear here that he's okay with the contract that he signed. He's happy to negotiate for more, but he doesn't want to take that money. And I think he has every right not to take that money. If you have an option to take it or not to take it, I don't see what the big deal is if he doesn't take it. I really don't see what the big deal is. Like nowadays, when it comes to the whole fighter pay conversation, I think most of us have moved on. Most fighters don't seem to give a fuck as much as the fans do. There's no unionization happening. Dana White and the UFC aren't going to increase pay anytime soon. It just is what it is. The fighters have to just figure it out on their own. So they're figuring it out on their own. But then you can't complain and cry when some people don't figure it out and do forget. Do you know what I mean? It's too late now. There's enough information out there. If you don't know what you're signing up for, then you're the fucking dummy. You have to kind of figure it out before you sign up for, your deal with the UFC. So I have no problem with Renato deciding not to take that deal. No issue whatsoever. It's his business. If you just want to take it, more power to him. Brendan obviously disagreed. Well, it now came to a head recently on TFATK because Renato, sat down with Ariel Helwani. Yes, the legend that is Ariel Helwani sat down with Renato Moicano and got an interview with him, and he had some not so nice words to say about Brendan during that interview. Now,
and give your opinions. I don't care. You can give your opinions. Again, I did not watch a show, and I did not watch Brendan Schaub or whatever did, because
Brendan Schaub, I love it. Brendan Schaub, I love it.
He spent a whole hour talking shit about me. I saw a small clip and I commentating on that, but I'm not gonna be watching every clip that people talk shit about me.
By the way, he did, that was an hour. He's right. It was nearly an hour of him ranting. Brendan ranting about why Moicano should have accepted the money. He took the money. He's an idiot. He's dumb. So it wasn't just like a little clip of him disagreeing. It was a real fucking rant, a real hate creed towards him. So he has every right to be like, get fucked.
It is what it is. You can do whatever you want.
We didn't talk shit about you here. We didn't talk shit about you here, just for the record. I just
For
want
the record, Ariel.
I didn't talk shit. I was saying I respect you and like you. You don't believe me, huh?
No, I believe you, and especially now what you say, because that's my whole point too. That was not about UFC being a monopoly. My point that's not what about fighters pay. That was about to grab some cash, and that was good for the UFC. That's what people don't get it. That was awesome for the UFC. You give 300 millions. That's no money for the UFC, and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And you drop the lawsuit, and now UFC is not labeled as a monopoly, as I think it should be. But if I was in the lawsuit, I would not take the money anyways.
Yes, keep up the great work. and
Here it comes,
and,
here it
and,
comes,
and
here it
the way to
comes.
stand on your morals and principles.
Here it comes.
And fuck
Last
everyone
thing
else.
that I want to
Yes.
say. Last thing that I want to say is sometimes when I'm doing the Show Me the Money podcast, I cannot articulate like that. I cannot say the things that I believe on because it's a 1 hour show and I have to be funny. You know, I have to be funny. I want to be funny.
Sure.
I'm speaking on my second language, and so that's why I can understand why the people clip and they say, "Hey, this guy is dumb," you know. And if you think yourself as dumb, think the people that watch the Brandon Schaub show on YouTube, the comedian.
That's great comedic timing, isn't it? That is great comedic timing, actually. For somebody whose English isn't their first language, right? That is really good comedic timing. You wait right until the end. A real good misdirect, isn't it? That was a really good fucking misdirect. That was fucking brilliant. If you think I'm not funny, if you think I'm dumb, think about the person that watches Brendan Schaub's podcast. So fucking good.
They special. That's fucking terrible. Okay, brother. Even I can do better than that shit, brother. And I don't even speak English, and I can be funnier than you, my brother.
So Papa catches a stray. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Thank you so much, Ariel, for the platform. Everybody that wants to follow me, go to my social media, Money Moicano on YouTube. And if you want, buy a fucking t-shirt, my brother.
Yes.
Hey, this is the Portuguese one. You know, I have both now.
Yes, we have two now. You see, we show you love.
Thank you so much. Renato Money Moicano and the Money Moicano. Show me the money, all that stuff.
Yeah, is it? Big up Kipi, you're right. The pronunciation is Renato, not Renato. It's Renato Moicano. Big up Kipi, big up Kipi.
You know, I'm not in the good wise with the UFC, so buy my stuff and support me on the social media.
Okay, thank you so much. There he is, the great Renato Money Moicano. What a guy, what a character. Papa catching a stray on the
Papa catching all the strays, forever catching strays. Fucking brilliant. And big up Ariel Helwani's maturity for not, joining in and jumping in and kicking, Brendan while he was down. Because I would have definitely added a couple of kicks in there, but he resisted the urge. Big up Ariel Helwani for resisting the urge to give Papa some kicks down there, while Renato decided to lay into Brendan with that expert misdirect. That was such a good misdirect. I need to play that again, actually. That was such a good misdirect, bro. That was fucking brilliant.
And fuck everyone else.
Last thing that I want to say is sometimes when I'm doing the Show Me the Money podcast, I cannot articulate like that. I cannot say the things that I believe on because it's a 1 hour show and I have to be funny. You know, I have to be funny. I want to be funny.
Sure.
I'm speaking on my second language, and so that's why I can understand why the people clip and they say, "Hey, this guy is dumb," you know. And if you think yourself as dumb, think the people that watch the Brandon Schaub show on YouTube, the comedian, the special. That's fucking terrible. Okay, brother. Even I can do better than that shit, brother. And I don't even speak English, and I can be funnier than you, my brother. So
Papa catches a stray. Oh,
so fucking good. Big up Renato. Moicano, what a fucking legend. Anyway, Papa saw that, obviously. Brendan Schaub saw that and was not too happy. Even though Moicano did leave a reply around the same time Brendan made a comment. So 2 weeks ago when it happened, Moicano replied to Brendan's video. Brendan didn't talk about it on the Schaub show, I don't think. I don't think Brendan clapped back on the Schaub show. Moicano did reply soon after. Did he leave a reply here on the comments? Let's see if he left a reply. Let's see. I'm curious to see if Brendan actually replied to Moicano's comment here. Let's see. Bear with me a second here. I'm going through the replies. Let's see. I want to see if Brendan actually replied to Moicano's reply to his video. No, he didn't actually. He didn't reply. Loads of people commenting there, but he didn't reply. For some reason, Brendan didn't reply to this, but when Brendan saw that clip from Ariel Helwani's show, it got under his skin and he decided to clap back. So this is Brendan Schaub clapping back at Moicano's rant there on the Ariel Helwani show. Right?
Speaking of college stuff, did you see finally Moicano respond to me criticizing him not taking the
Moicano?
By the way, I hate that he said finally, because it makes it feel like he was only saying those things about Moicano to get him to reply. It seems like he was kind of, what's the thing called? Clout chasing, right? He was rage baiting. That's what it kind of sounds like. So he's purposely saying these outlandish things, being really animated and screaming and shit, so that he can go viral, and so that the person he's speaking about can maybe clap back, so that he can have some sort of back and forth on social, which is really lame, to be honest. He's acting like that, at his big age, with his experience, getting into that muck and being that type of content creator, being that type of person online is fucking disgusting, and not a good way to earn your money, I would say. But hey, whatever. The other thing I also don't like, this is a little bit of a nitpick. Am I the only person that gets a little bit annoyed at the way he fucking puts his feet on that table? And it doesn't matter, it's a podcast, he can do what he wants, it's his studio. But am I the only person that gets a little bit pissed off when he sees his feet like that on the table like that? Just sit down properly. Why are you putting your feet on the table? Why are you putting your trainers, your fucking outdoor shoes on the table anyway in the first place? What are you doing? It's a little bit too comfortable. It's a little bit too relaxed. It's a little bit too, it's like he's giving us a middle finger. I don't know, something about it. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, let's continue.
Moicano.
I did not see that.
He responded to me.
Look at the image they used, by the way. They used the pre-Ozempic. I love how they used the pre-Ozempic image. I love how they used it. I think Brendan saw it, so I took offense. I love how, what's his page? Whatever that page, I like how they used the pre-Ozempic image of Brendan looking all fat, bloated, and lumpy. I fucking love it.
Criticizing him for not taking the money. Now, let me be very upfront here. Him not taking the money helps me out. So at the end of the day, I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
By the way, he says I don't give a flying fuck. And before we continue, this clip, which I clipped from TFATK episode 1111, this clip where he responds to Moicano is 13 minutes and 18 seconds long. In the first 20 seconds, he says, I don't care. I don't care. We saw that video of him ranting and shouting on his Instagram. But in this clip, he says, I don't care. Then proceeds to talk about it for 13 minutes. Fucking brilliant.
It actually puts more money in my pocket, Don Cerrone's pocket, some other fighters that could probably use it. But here's my thing, Bubba, and I'm a fan of Moicano. I expect...
I like how when he talks, he's arguing with somebody. I wonder if that's like a low IQ thing. He's like, here's the thing, Papa. What do you mean, here's the thing? I didn't say anything. He's like arguing with an imaginary person in his head. He's not addressing the points. He's not anything. He's just immediately defensive and arguing with somebody in his head. It's like, what do you mean, here's the thing, Papa?
Rebuttal, whenever you criticize a fighter, we're fighters.
Well, I think you went hard in the press. I think what he...
No, hold on, let me finish. Yeah. So whenever...
what a dickhead. What a dickhead. I think you went hard in the press, exactly. By the way, keep an eye on Brian. This might be one of the only rare occasions I've seen Brian not like cheerlead and not try and suck off Brendan and talk about how strong he... I mean, Brian's a bit uncomfortable. Brian's kind of looking at him like... To be fair, he's got a... Brian, you can feel like agrees with Moicano. Brian, I think, agrees. Yeah, you went kind of hard at him. He's only justified to go kind of hard at you. Look at Brian's reaction. It's probably the only time I've seen him not fucking cheerlead, not cuck out. Pick up a song, please.
Here's the thin Bubba. It don't make sense.
Exactly. Watch. Just keep an eye on Brian. Keep an eye on Brian, kind of.
Whenever you call out a fighter, I expect a response. They're fighters. You call me out. If you're just a general fan or hater, I don't respond. If we're from the same...
So, like, he's somehow above... He's above the general people. He's in the fighters category. Now, I have to say this. I have to question this. Why is a former fighter calling out other fighters if they're not actively fighting? Why is you as a former fighter, now a journalist, whatever, media person, let's say journalist, he's definitely not a journalist, let's say media person, why are you calling out fighters anyway as a media person? What business do you have calling out fighters? Why are you being antagonistic to fighters? Why are you being somewhat confrontational to fighters as a fucking media figure? Doesn't make any sense. Surely if you're a former fighter, you should have more understanding, more empathy. when it comes to how, it is to fight, the struggles, the sacrifices, the work that goes into it, the fucking success, the failures. You should be a little bit more understanding and maybe kind of choose your words carefully, because you know how sensitive fighters can be and how hard the sport can be in general, mentally, physically, whatever else it may be. So why are you even calling out fighters? Makes no sense. He might be the only fighter currently in UFC, or no, the only ex-fighter in UFC who has this type of personality, who has this type of approach when it comes to other fighters, where they generally all kind of hate him. They all kind of despise him. He's like a punching bag. He's you know what I mean? He's you know what I mean? Like what the fuck is this? It's a strange way to go about doing things, really.
Alumni or you're professional, well, now you got my attention, and because I'm not gonna come off as a bully there. Like with Nate Diaz, that's not bullying. He called me out. We're from the same fraternity. We can both fight.
Did he call you out though, really?
So if we fight, we both have a set of skills and we both agree to it. That's different than if you're just some schmuck at the bar. That's
Wait, why would it get to fighting? You call somebody out or they call you out. Why would it have to even get to fighting anyway? This guy is so unhinged, man. There's going to come a point where he's going to do something to somebody. He's going to get in a lot of trouble. There's going to come a point where some homeless cat's going to troll him in public and he's going to flip out and do something. He's going to get in a lot of trouble. He's really trying. He's got a lot of rage in him, innit? A lot of fucking weird, misdirected anger and shit. It's like, why are you thinking about fighting people because they're calling you out on your shitty fucking pics, on your terrible personality on podcast, on your tendency to interrupt, on your horrible opinions, on your unfunny jokes, on your hacky sensibilities, on your cheating, whatever else. Like, come on, man. It's just work. Like, why are you getting so angry? And so, like, what? I thought fighters have to be have a little bit more self-control. What's wrong with this guy?
not cool. If a professional beats up a average Joe, that's bullying, and that's not the way to do things. But if you're from the same fraternity, the UFC fraternity, well, now we can both play in this game.
So what is he saying? Is he saying he wants to fight Moicano? So Moicano replies to what you said about him, which was very insulting, very rude, very condescending. And now you want to fight him because he said you're shit at comedy.
But here's the thing with Moicano is if you're going to...
Moicano or Moicano?
Start a beef, if you're going to go back and forth, buddy.
He didn't start it. You started it.
You can't wait. No, hold on. No, hold on. You can't wait 10 days to respond.
Didn't he reply 2 weeks ago? The same time that he made the video clip on his Instagram? Because I'm sure that's what Moicano saw first. So he replied 2 weeks ago, around the same time Brendan posted in the first place. But Brendan didn't want to respond to this because it was a comment. So he's clearly doing this to go viral. He's clearly doing this for engagement purposes. You know, he wants to reply to the video. But it's right there. 2 weeks. What are you talking about?
I don't know if it's a language barrier. I don't know if it's a translation thing where they had to figure out what I said. Either way.
Again, another unnecessary insult and sneak this there. Trying to assume that they don't talk English in Brazil, or Moicano has no one around him that speaks English, or that he can't read English or listen. Like, what? If anything, am I going far here to say that Moicano speaks better English than Brendan anyway?
Powerful bunch.
Pick up Sardi's.
Hey Renato Moicano. We from the same fraternity. What are you gonna do, Moicano? I'll twist your freaking neck off with a Diet Coke.
Oh really? Big up Ryan Harty. Is that true? He lives in Florida, not Brazil. Okay, I didn't even know that. So it's like he's making it seem like he's in the fucking slums of Sao Paulo, right? Like what? Like he lives in Florida. It's fucking hilarious. He lives in Florida, probably drives a Cybertruck. It's like, why is he making it sound like he's never heard English, like ever before? Like he needs a translator all fucking times. So insulting.
Your handlers, you can't get back to me after 10 days. Handlers.
That diss from Rogan definitely stings, isn't it? He still mentions handlers to this day. You can tell that Rogan diss still fucking stings. Still stings.
Moved on. When someone and fans were hitting me up like, "Oh, Moicano's taking shots," I went, "What?"
Fans are hitting me up. Why do old locals do that, by the way? Anybody that's watching this, please tell me in the stream chat. When I clip this afterwards, please tell me in the stream chat. Let me know. What is it about locals and always saying that people are sending them things? From DSP to Boogie to Wings. Why do they all say that? I didn't see it. Someone sent it to me. A fan sent. Like, who's sending? Like, who? What? Someone sent it to me. No, they didn't. You saw it yourself. Why are you lying that you didn't see it yourself?
Who? About what? I've moved. Dude, this is 10 years. It's like with Nate Diaz. It took him several days to respond, and all he said was, "You'd be surprised." Well, first of all, I've already moved on in my life, dude. And second of all, that's not original. That's
so because you moved on with your life and you're not a comedian anymore, no one can take the piss out of you being a shit comedian when you were a comedian. I don't think insults work that way. You don't get to dictate what is an insult, what isn't an insult, or the parameters, or what's a justified insult. It doesn't work that way. This guy is fucking broken in the brain. I've moved on. I'm not even a comedian anymore. That this doesn't land. It does land, mate. That's why you're ranting right now.
So weak that you're making a reference from fucking 12 years ago.
Reference or reverence? Do you say reverence or reference there?
So weak that you're making a reference from fucking weak that you're making a reference. Weak that you're making a reference. Weak that you're making a reference.
Taking a piss at somebody else's ability to speak the English language, and then you fuck up reverence for reference. You instead say reverence when you meant to say reference. You can't make it up, mate. You can't make it up. English is meant to be his first language. You know, even though he
Powerful
looks
bunch.
fucking Turkish. Big up Casey.
Still has never responded to big sexy Sean McCorkle.
Good point. Good fucking point. Good fucking point. Exactly, Casey. Good fucking point. Oh, I love the reverence.
Original. That's so weak that you're making a reference from fucking 12 years ago. And your team, your handlers, that's what you got. And with Moicano, right? And this is proto.
By the way, was You Be Surprised 12 years ago? Was it 12 years ago? When did You Be Surprised release? I don't think it was 12 years ago, right? 2019. Yes, why is he saying 12 years ago? 2019. 2019. That's not 12 years ago, brother. 12 years ago. He's even lying about it, that. Like, he's a weird guy, bro. The lies are so fucking odd. 12 years ago. You wish it was 12 years ago. He wishes.
Typical chat GBT. This is prototypical.
What does prototypical mean? Prototypical, huh?
That's what you got. And with Moicano, right? And this is prototypical chat GBT.
Is it Chad? And by the way, I love that. I love how I have a feeling that he practiced this in the mirror. I have a feeling that he wrote this fucking rant out in the mirror, or he wrote this on his notes app, or he was thinking about it in a car right there to the fucking studio. This sounds like a rehearsed rant. Chad GBT. Chad GBT.
I talk shit to Brendan Schaub. Here it is. He's dumb. He's a meathead. He's bad at podcasting. He was a bad fighter. If I post a truck, did you flip it? The standard shit, right? The standard shit. None of it.
They're all pretty funny insults, to be honest. Every single one of them are funny. And also, I don't think every other fighter gets this type of treatment. Brendan might be the only former fighter that gets trolled and insulted this way. It's not normal, bro. It's not normal that people have so many. What did Elon say? Attack vectors. People have so many different attack vectors to go after him because he's done so many dumb things over the years, and he's such a hateable. Like, Theo was right, actually. He's like such an easily hateable person, but he thinks this is normal. He thinks, every person that's successful. No, every person that's successful doesn't get the level of hate that you do, mate. You might get a level of hate that you do because you're a fucking cunt.
It's original. So his team put in ChatGPT. How do I talk shit to Brendan Schaub? Again, he's in Brazil, so I don't know. Maybe it's a translation issue.
Yeah.
Let's go any stories. What's he up to right now? Look, he's in that place. Where's that? Where's this place?
Fala, meus correligionários, Renato, Mani, Moicano aqui. E o lá...
Whoops, it's linked to his fucking thing. I thought that was a location, my bad. He looks like having fun. I think he's fucking up Brenda, you know. I know they're different weight classes and shit. I think I put my money on him.
Ralando, meu brother. Olha quem tá aqui. What's up, guys? Today we have 7 p.m. no gi grappling at Kingdom. I will be teaching the classes. 7 o'clock, I see.
I keep forgetting that part. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be watching. Get better. Come on. Take your time. This man, boom.
Oh, he used to be who's that guy? He used to be a fighter, innit? He quit, right? Or he got cut. Wasn't this guy a fighter? I think he had a bad knockout, didn't he? Who's this guy? I remember him, man. He was meant to be really good, but unfortunately, I don't think he lived up to his potential. Who's this guy with a bald head? He used to be a fighter, no? Is that him? Marlon Moraes? Didn't he get cut? Didn't he lose really badly to somebody? He was fucking good, man. Really jacked and ripped as well. He's a cop now. Okay, cool.
Let's go. This is just the warm up. 10 times, 10 times. Whoever finish last,
That looks fun, man.
going to pay push-ups. Let's go, guys.
That looks fun.
Just the warm up. Let's go.
Kingdom Martial Arts. Okay. No gi grappling 7 Tuesdays. That's fucking fun. I'd fucking go to that. I'd fucking go to that. So yeah, big up Renato. Anyway, let's go back to Brendan talking shit.
If you think yourself as dumb, I never said I was dumb. I might call myself an idiot, but compared to him, I'm Elon Musk.
Well, he's not talking to you.
Jesus Christ. Jesus. Why would you say that? What about the interaction would make him feel like he's smarter than him? Like, what about it? It's an interesting, like, I'd love to know what about the interaction would make Brendan believe that he is Elon Musk compared to the other guy, compared to fucking Moicano. How and why? Jesus Christ, like it. I don't think I've seen a former fighter act like this with other fighters. Maybe Sean Strickland's the only real one. Maybe Sean Strickland, maybe Mike Perry, maybe to an extent. But Brendan must be the only fighter who has these sort of problems with other fighters. As a former fighter, he has no sort of like respect, no chill, but then he cries victim if they come after him. Strange guy, man. Very, very strange guy. He kind of acts like an outsider when he's not an outsider. I expect this sort of, you know, confrontation, this sort of like attitude from someone like myself, you know, just a regular person. You should have a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more tact, a little bit more class
About that.
Think about my fans, which is if you're listening to me, that means I'm dumb and he's dumb and the fans are dumb, right? And then he goes, Brendan Schaub's show on YouTube. Oh, it's a podcast, mainly audio. We do YouTube just for the fuck of it.
So
what? It's mainly audio. We do YouTube just for. No, you don't. You do YouTube because it pays. The sponsors that they have on their fucking podcast wouldn't sponsor it if it was just an audio only pod. They sponsor it because of the fucking advertisement they get on fucking YouTube. If YouTube didn't matter, why are you buying views? If YouTube didn't matter, why is he buying views to inflate the numbers to make it seem like the show's more successful than what it is? Obviously, in the back end, the audio numbers, they can scam those. I'm sure some of you guys that work in marketing know there's a whole racket that goes on with marketing spend and podcasts and audio and stuff. Like, it's a fucking crazy racket. And I don't blame them for running the scam because it's a very lucrative scam because some marketing, some brands have a marketing budget that they have to spend every fucking quarter. It doesn't fucking matter. They have to spend it. So they sometimes spend it on podcast. And some of these podcasts on the audio side of things, you can inflate the numbers, or you can sometimes even, which I've seen, use numbers of your pod when it was more successful. So they'll use numbers based. They'll use the statistics of when the podcast was at its pomp, at the time when he was in Joe Rogan's good graces, and then leverage those numbers to get more favorable rates on their fucking ads. But let's not act like YouTube isn't important. It is. They would not, like, if their YouTube channel got deleted tomorrow or they got demonetized, you'd see them on Patreon straight away. Try to make up the difference. So let's not act like the YouTube doesn't matter. It does.
And the comedy
read the
special.
whole quote, sir.
Hold on. And the comedy special. Oh, you're talking about from 5 years ago?
Yeah.
This is, so it's just like, dude.
So you can't insult somebody if something happened. Like, that's not how it works, bro. It's not how it works. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way.
And again, if you were going to come with this rebuttal, you got to do it at least within 24 hours. Otherwise, I'm out, bud. I'm not going to play your game. But if you're going to wait.
Didn't he start the game by doing that over animated, clearly trying to go viral, clout chasing, clip farming fucking response in the first place? He started it by flying off the handle because some UFC fighter's not taking the fucking check from the UFC. From the antitrust lawsuit. Like, he started it, and now he's trying to act like he's just replying back to something. Like, no, you started it, mate. And he didn't even say anything that bad anyway.
A fucking week, 10 days, however long this took to come up with this rebuttal, it has to be good.
Insulting his fucking acumen, insulting his ability to understand what you said is fucking hilarious, man. This is Brendan Shaw, by the way.
I'm like, all right, they took their time. They probably got some writers. Then I'm in. But when it's...
Oh, is that true? KP, Renato's YouTube has more views than Papa's. Is that true? That's fucking hilarious if true. That's fucking hilarious.
This, and listen, I like Moicano. Him not taking the money helps me.
Whenever Brendan says he likes you, he doesn't like you. Because if liking you means... If liking somebody means ranting at them for 13 minutes, insulting their acumen, calling out their ability to be a good father, a good wife, a good husband, whatever, a good father and shit, taking the piss out of their ability to speak language and shit, all this malarkey, that's not someone I want to refer to as a friend or someone I'm cool with.
Me out helps the other fighters out. You're putting more money in my pocket. And Moicano, I hate to tell you, 99.9% of UFC fighters, alumni, current fighters, staff, anybody who works at the UFC is on my side. You're not going to find...
So everyone agrees with me, you're right, I'm wrong, cool. Standard of reply from Brendan, right? Standard.
Many fighters that agree with you. Everyone thinks it's fucking stupid what you're doing. Now, again, I don't know Moicano, and I don't know how far the dollar goes in Brazil. Maybe he's set.
Jesus Christ. What a condescending, obnoxious piece of shit, innit? Truly. Fucking hell. I don't know how far the dollar goes in Brazil. Ay. And then if someone cuts back and says something else to him, he's gonna start fucking crying. They're talking about twisting people's necks off and shit. This fucking guy.
Maybe he comes from family money. I think he was going to be a lawyer and dropped out of that to pursue fighting. So he's a smart dude.
Guy, yeah.
He's a very smart guy. And he's entertaining.
He's great.
And here's the other thing.
Patronizing.
If you're going to respond and then make fun of me, how no one watches my show, or I can't podcast, can't do this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But to get your message out, you have to go on another man's show to reach me.
That is such a lame diss. That is such a lame... You had to go another... What? It was an interview on a very popular MMA show with one of the most, popular fucking MMA journalists out there. Why wouldn't he kind of comment on it on there? You've done the same thing yourself. What is he talking about? So if he goes on his own channel that has more views than his, that's more valid. What?
I sit down over there in a chair for the last fucking 12 years and get my message out. And you saw it. It got to
12 years. You've only been living in Austin for a month. By the way, look at Callan's face. Look at Brian Callan's face. Look at Brian Callan's face. He's not co-signing this shit. He's uncomfortably sitting there. He's not agreeing with it. He's not championing it. He's not doing his usual stuff with his he's not got his pom-poms out. He's not on his knees sucking off Brendan. you can tell by Callan's face, he's like, bro, you're doing a little bit too much. You're doing a little bit too much. You said all you had to say about him. He said all you had to say about what you said about him. Just let it go. But you were saying a little bit too much in the beginning anyway. Callan's face says it all. Callan's face says it all.
You have to call another grown man who's built their platform, and Ariel Helwani has a big platform, just to reach me, but I do it from here, and you're making fun of me.
Wait, it might have been that he let it go, and then Ariel asked him about it.
No.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have a fight coming up. This is the only thing that's current in his life.
Wasn't he on Ariel when he said that?
This is the only thing current in his life. This is the only thing current in his life. Fucking hell, honestly. I'm just astounded because he's such a crybaby when people come after him. He's so thin-skinned. He takes things so personally. He falls off the handle so quickly. He's so insecure. He's so easily rattled. It's funny to see him throwing all these little fucking disses, all these little bullets, all these little jabs, all these little insults, being really rude, really condescending, really obnoxious. But then when someone does it to him, he fucking cries. Literally cries. It's fucking wild, man. Fucking wild. Proper bully. You can tell he's a proper bully.
Correct, Brian. That's the point.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah.
No, but did he go on?
Hold on. Yeah.
No, but he didn't go on.
Brian doesn't get it. Let me do this.
He didn't go on.
Like that, by the way. Like that, by the way. Like that thing there. That thing right there. That thing right there. Forget everything he said about Moicano. That thing right there. How does he have friends, man? I know he doesn't have friends. Brian's probably the only friend. But how does he have friends? How do you talk to people like this and still have friends? Like, why are you being so rude? Why are you talking like what? Like, what's going on here? It's astonishing the levels of disrespect Callan puts up with Brendan. That goes to show you just how beholden he is to the money and, you know, that lifestyle, entertainment industry. Because in the regular walk of life, no one will ever accept the way Brendan talks to Brian in regular. You wouldn't have it. Even Chin to a certain extent. The way they talk to each other, it's just like, what the
Powerful
fuck,
bunch.
Man? Pick up a star disease.
Don't forget Baba will eat you up. Where are those comedy chops?
Exactly.
Moicano might be one of the 250.
Exactly. I just don't get it, man. How do you let somebody talk to you like that? Why is he being so combative? Why is he being so confrontational with fucking... What's Callan done? It's sort of like he's looking at Callan like he's Moicano. Fucking hell, that was so unnecessarily rude.
Call another grown man who's built... No.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have a fight coming up. This is the only thing that's current in his life.
Wasn't he on Ariel when he said that?
Correct, Brian. That's the point.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah.
No, but did he go on?
Hold on. Yeah.
No, but he didn't go on.
Brian doesn't get it. Let me do this.
He
went on Ariel to address this. He doesn't have a fight.
Only that?
He doesn't have.
Imagine how he would reply. Imagine how he'd reply if someone did that to him. Imagine how mad he'd get if someone did that to him. What a fucking prick. Such a fucking prick, innit? He's like impossible to like, innit? That's the thing I've realized now. The more I've been doing this, like, Brendan is literally impossible to like. The more you watch me, like, Jesus Christ, you are a fucking dickhead. Big up Suddenly, you called him out for no reason. You replied, said you sucked, and now you're crying about it. Exactly. Big up Josie. He doesn't have any friends. You have seen him at the lake. That's a good point. Big up Josie. That's such a good observation. He doesn't have any friends. You've seen him at the lake. It's just Slojo's family. Exactly. That's a good point. If Slojo's family weren't around, what would they do? You rarely see Brendan's in-laws and stuff, innit? You see his dad sometimes here and there, but if Sojo's family weren't around, what the fuck would they do? They'd have no family. Zero. No friends, no family, no nothing. Big up LB. What was Brendan promoting on Rampage podcast? Exactly. Nothing. Such a hypocrite. Exactly. Big up LB. Great point.
Fight go on there for other things.
He doesn't have a fight coming up.
Right. Huh.
So if you're going to go on shows, it's usually because you have something to promote, correct? A fight. Maybe release some brand or some brand deal.
What were you promoting at fucking Jackson's podcast then, you fucking knobhead?
Yeah. No, he went on another grown man show to get the message out because he can't do it from here. And then he's trying podcasts and everyone their mom is, right? Weird. Who's the first UFC fighter to do a podcast?
These replies, these clapbacks are terrible, man. I wonder who wrote that. You know that really good one that he wrote to Dana that time about being Eskimo brothers? I wonder if he even wrote that. Because his replies, his clapbacks, his insults are so bad. Surely that person that wrote that first reply to Dana isn't the same guy, isn't it? Like, he must have got some help with that one. I wonder if he crowdsourced that fucking clapback, that insult, that, you know, him and whatever Dana being escort. Because this doesn't make no sense. What? Who's the first to do that? Huh?
Do you know who it is? Right? So he's going to launch a podcast.
Yo, I've never seen Brian look at him this way. Look, he looks kind of concerned. Brian generally looks concerned. Like, he's got that kind of old man look. Like, are you all right? Are you going through something? Like, he looks like he wants to put his hand on Brendan's shoulder. Like, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay. Let it out. Let it out. Just cry. It's okay. Brian looks concerned. He looks worried. He looks bothered. He definitely doesn't look like he agrees. He definitely doesn't look like he co-signs this message. It's like, what's going on? What's wrong with this guy, man? I've never seen Brian so quiet and not really cheering on fucking Brendan for once. Great to see.
You're gonna call it "Show me the money," and then when they show you the money, you turned it down. Oh, but I'm the dumb one.
Do you think
there really is no need to be this angry, this upset that some guy, some UFC fighter didn't take the money that you did? Like, I don't understand. I just still am really perturbed why he's so bothered by this.
Do you have a gun?
Big up Salaziz.
A good bull hunting moment would send me over.
Big up Salaziz.
that the clapback came as a result of you saying he'd never be champion?
Probably.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. I'm not trying to hurt his feelings. Let's go.
I think as a fighter, you should be very conscious about hurting other fighters' feelings, because you knew how much your feelings got hurt when somebody else, aka a former fighter, said something about you. Because you'd imagine if you're a fighter, a former fighter saying something about you would resonate or hit more or sting more or sit with you more or matter more than what someone like myself says. Even though, you know, I think they are sensitive to everything, he should be more aware of that, more conscious of that. But he doesn't. He's not. I'm not sure why. Maybe because he doesn't see himself as a fighter. I'm not too sure. But it's a bizarre place to be.
Go black and white here. Take feelings out of it. Let's be analytical. Let's take feelings out of it.
Your entire fucking persona is based on feelings. Like, everything here is about feelings. How can we do that?
If you look at his record, and this is I'm not being mean. This is, if I did not know him, we didn't have this beef. You look at the lay of the fucking land at 55 that he's fighting at. Anytime he's fought top echelon competition, he has lost. He's lost. He's coming off a 2-fight loss streak right now.
Yeah.
Right? He beat BSD, who was overhyped. So that's probably his best win. He lost to RDA, which is years ago.
If someone did this to his record and picked apart his record and called out how shit of a fighter he was, and the fact that anytime he went and kind of, you know, had to fight somebody higher up the rankings or somebody with a bit more ability, he fucking fell at the hurdle, he'd be pissed, you know? Again, as a former fighter, this is pretty poor showing. I'm not going to lie.
He lost to Fazeev. These are all top of the division. Keep going. He lost to Korean Zombie. He lost to Jose Aldo. He lost to Brian Ortega. So just be analytical. So you haven't beat any of these top guys. You're not going to. You beat...
He's out of breath and everything. It's like, brother, why are you so worked up about this? This guy's a lot of rage in him, innit? He's proper worked up. He's like out of breath. He's panting. It's like, calm down, man. I understand you don't agree with the fact that he didn't take the money. You know, it kind of pains you maybe because he has kids and stuff. I get it, but like, relax, bro. You don't know him. Like, they didn't even part. I don't understand why he's so like invested in this. Like, chill out.
Drew Dober, Jalen Turner, BSD, who we know was overhyped, and that's my fault. I overhyped him. He was a beast, but you know.
That's my fault. Fucking hell, calm down, man. With this grandiose sense of self, he was the only person responsible for overhyping BSC. Shut up.
No, he's not. It was fake hype. He has no legit wins, right? So you beat him, and then by beating him, you got a title shot because the main event fell out in a short notice. That will never happen again. It will never happen again. And then they.
By the way, save this clip when it happens again. Someone run this clip back again when Moicano gets another title shot.
Give you a bounce back fight with an older Dariush, and you lose to him. So if we're just being analytical about it, me saying you're not.
Say analytical again. Say analytical one more time. Say analytical one more time.
So if we're just being analytical about it, me saying him. So if we're just being analytical about it, me saying you're not him. So if we're just being analytical about it, 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 me saying you're not getting a title shot isn't a shot at him. Right. Fucking 99.9. I never fought for a title.
You're being honest as you
see it. And it's fair. He's a fighter to criticize that. But if you take your feelings out of it, he knows this.
Yeah.
I know this. The fan base knows this. Now, he's a fun fighter to watch. He's exciting, always have a career. But again, he's a smart dude. I'm not going to call him dumb and all this shit and blah, blah, blah. But he might be.
You just called him dumb. You insulted him. You said he couldn't speak English. That's probably why I didn't understand. Like, you said quite a lot of insulting things. You don't get any points for not outwardly saying that he's not dumb. You've kind of called him dumb in a roundabout many different ways.
Playing checkers. I'm sorry. He might be playing chess and we're playing checkers.
That's a fantastic follow-up, isn't it? He said he's not going to call Renato dumb, and then he displays one of the best brain freezes I've ever seen in my entire life.
He playing checkers. I'm sorry. He might be playing chess and we're playing checkers.
His brain broke. He had no idea what that word was. He had to search his fucking brain for that one. Fucking hell.
I'm sorry. He might be playing checkers, but he might be playing checkers. I'm sorry. He might be playing chess.
You know what? I think the first example was the best one. It still was a nonsense analogy, but I think the first analogy was actually the one that made sense. The correction didn't make sense, to be fair.
He might be playing checkers. I'm sorry. He might be playing. I'm sorry. He might be playing chess and we're playing checkers. Because he might be playing checkers. I'm sorry. He might be playing chess and we're playing checkers. Because he might be thinking, I don't know what they pay him. It's probably a good amount of money with how many fights he has, right? And he fought for that main event, probably got a good payday. He's fighting top echelon guys. He might be saying, hold on. The smart, and he's a smart dude, so maybe he's doing this. He's already lost 2 in a row. You lose another one, it's going to get dicey. He might say, instead of taking this antitrust lawsuit money, which he said was, I think, 200 or 300,000, it's not. I know that how they break it down. He was going to get about 120,000. So he's off even on his numbers. I just don't think he has that.
Didn't he say it was 202? He's now mocking Renato because he got the numbers wrong. But in that clip, didn't Brendan himself say it was 200,000? Now that he's got the numbers, he's kind of flexed. But didn't he originally say it was 200 himself? What a fucking cunt.
Facts. So he's not actually turning down 200,000 like he said. He's probably turned down a low 100-something thousand, which is still a lot of money.
Yeah, but after taxes.
But he makes, after taxes, all that. But
so why are you so angry then?
But he probably makes.
Why are you so mad?
Makes more fighting, right? So the smart thing to do, if he thinks Dana's gonna scratch his back, which I doubt he is, but maybe they are, is I'm a 2-fight losing skid. They give me a bad matchup, I'm fucked, dude. I'm gonna make way more money. If I can just win one more, that's gonna extend my career another 2 to 3
exciting,
fights.
fan favorite.
Yes, so that's gonna extend my career another 2 to 3 fights.
Smart.
So by turning this $100,000 down,
he makes a lot more.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think he's playing chess.
I agree.
And we're thinking of checkers. That's what I assume he's turned down the money.
That's what I feel like. That's what makes sense. That would be the smart sort of
He
long-term
he doesn't say
plan.
that though. He doesn't say.
Yeah.
He goes, it's a pride
No, he's
thing.
not gonna
It's
say
a
that,
respect thing.
And
you
it
know?
probably is as well. It's probably a
No,
combination.
that's all garbage. That's all garbage.
Combination.
And I'm coming from as an older.
How is it garbage though? How can you tell somebody that it's garbage when he said clearly? If you watch the Ariel Helwani interview, he basically lays out his way of thinking, and his reasons for getting to that position where he's not taking the money. I still fundamentally don't agree with it. I think he should have taken it, but he's not lying. Right? You might not agree with it, but it doesn't sound like he's lying to me. You might not agree with his way of living. You might not agree with his worldview. You might not agree with his perspective. But to call him out and say he's full of shit is crazy. But again, it says more about Brendan, because Brendan can't ever imagine turning down anything when it comes to money. You know, he can't ever imagine walking away from money because his whole life revolves around it. Even though he tries to lie and say it doesn't, which is another weird thing to lie about, because who gives a fuck if you love money? People love money, is what it is. But he just can't wrap his head around somebody not having the same kind of not holding up money on the same type of pedestal that he does.
Guy who has been around the league longer than him.
Yes.
I've been behind the scenes way longer than him.
Yeah.
I have the relationships to know how this works. I'm telling you now, Moicano, maybe you're right. Maybe they give you a favorable matchup and you extend your career. Maybe. And I fucking hope they do, and I hope that's why you're doing it.
No, you don't.
But typically it never works out that way. They never scratch your back. They just don't. And it's all good. You're in the fight business. It's it's the most cutthroat business you can be in. Because this is the way it will work. Let's say Dana goes behind the scenes, hey dude, tight move showing loyalty to the UFC. Here's a good matchup for you. And you win that one. He's not going to continue to give you good matchups at the level you're at. The next one after this, it gets real and you're back to the drawing board. That's how this goes. That's just how it goes. And you're in the toughest division in the world. It's at 55.
Yeah, 55.
So it's no knock on Moicano saying that 55 is the most.
Moicano. It's Moicano, not Moicano. Look at his face. Look how angry, animate. It's just he's a strange lad, man. I wonder if there's something deeper to this beef with him. Maybe there's something else that's happened behind the scene that we don't know about. Maybe Moicano's one of those guys that fucking double teamed or remember he's got that famous story about some Brazilians allegedly gang banged one of his exes or something, and he couldn't look her the same way again or something. I wonder if that's the reason why he's so triggered, because Moicano's Brazilian. That might be one reason why he seems very wound up about this. Don't know why. Seems odd.
Count division. He's ranked in the top 15. You know how hard, you know how impressive that is?
Yeah.
His wins are super impressive.
What's his ranking right now?
I'll look right now.
Probably top 15.
13, I
think that, yeah. I think,
you know how hard it is to be ranked top 13 in the world?
I think I think you said what a lot of people were thinking, right?
Anyone that knows the sport knows I'm 100%.
There we go. Here's Brian. Brian remembered he's got his pom-poms on his hand, so there's Brian again, coming back with his pom-poms.
Correct.
Yes.
11.
It's impressive.
And I think he was even higher than that before he lost 2.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about a top 10 guy, which is super impressive.
Yeah.
But you look at the top 5, it's not a pretty picture for him.
Yeah.
And that's all good. That's not a knock on him, dude.
It's the truth.
But again, they get upset about that, and I get it. I understand that. I expect even a blowback from this 14 days later.
He's he's like a dick. And he wonders why people don't like him. He actually wonders why people don't like him. It's actually funny and impressive how lacking in self-awareness he is. He has no idea why people don't like him. He's so surprised. I'm a great guy. Are you though?
Keep it going.
Dude, I got too many fish to fry. I fried this Brazilian fish fucking 10 days ago. I don't go back for leftovers.
I don't know that. I never got that you were actually attacking Moicano anyway. You were just kind of saying.
He just said he fried Brazilian fish, and here's Brian coming in with the fucking save, trying to click. He just said he attacked him. He just said, like, what?
Hey, the USC doesn't work this way, right?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And also at the end of the day,
he may have a great relationship with Dana though, and he may have been like, I'm just
A ton of, so does
play
Donald
the-
Cerrone.
Play the long game.
No, so a ton of guys do, and they're
Yeah.
still taking the money. The UFC, there's no negative side effects from taking the fucking
Yeah, my
money.
guess is Dana would say take the money.
Yeah.
It's already been.
Dana would be like, oh, dude, yeah.
Well, first of all, the money's not going back to Dana. It's not like I'm not going to take the money and now.
No, and that's why I'm glad he's not taking the money. The money comes to me.
Yeah.
And the rest of the fighters that are taking, and I think it's like 97% of the fighters are taking it.
Yeah.
Only 3% aren't.
Yeah.
I know a big fish who's not taking it.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know Moicano's financial situation, and he was going on to be a lawyer, and I don't know his family in Brazil. The dollar goes a lot longer out there than it does here. He might be completely fine. Being like, dude. But again, remember, he's in a different boat than a lot of us. He thought he was going to get, I think he said he turned down 200, 300,000. That's not the case. He turned down about 100-something thousand.
Yeah.
Because the formula they use to break down how much you're going to get, you can figure it out. People have figured it out. He actually turned down about 100-something, 110,000.
Yeah.
Still a ton of money, but after taxes, I can see why he's like, just give me a good matchup next one. Because
Anyway, that's it. There's Brendan being a condescending, obnoxious, patronizing piece of shit asshole guy about somebody's response to, I thought, a quite reasonable response to his somewhat unnecessarily personal attack because that one person decided not to take a fucking check. No real beef. I mean, I don't really understand the fucking Moicano's diss was a little bit was funny, really. I thought it wasn't mean spirited. I think it was funny, considering all the stuff that Brendan was saying about him. The fact that Brendan went on a 1 hour rant about him on his own Schaub show, and Moicano had that one, what was it, 3 minutes or so, little barbs, a couple of barbs aimed towards Brendan, funny ones at that. You think Brendan, being a former comedian, will maybe clap back with some insults that were funny, ribbon that way, and then say it's all love. But instead, he's really taking this as an opportunity to really, try and push this beef as a thing. It's like, bro, you're a former fighter. What happened to that whole fraternity? What happened to that whole brotherhood thing? If that's the case, why aren't you trying to, pour cold water on it, calm it down, lower the temperatures, and just say, hey, I know I said what I had to say. Maybe I should have thought about your feelings a little bit more. I was only trying to be honest and reflective of the industry, and meant no harm, shake hands to keep it moving. But instead, he's out here really antagonizing, really trying to ramp it up a bit. Maybe all for a viral clip. That's what maybe he wants. Maybe he wants someone to rock up to the studio and do something. I don't know what he wants, but it's a strange way to approach things. But again, Papa is a very, very strange man. Big up the stream chat. I think a big insecurity of Papa is being called stupid. Also, apparently a big pussy. Yeah, for sure, 100%. Definitely. Or even being referred to as stupid. But it's a weird thing because he actually is quite stupid. I'm sure it's a weird thing to be insecure about when you are dumb. So, but and he used to kind of. I feel like maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I feel like he used to kind of play up to being stupid. But I guess maybe podcast fame made him believe that he was smarter than what he actually was. If he will feel better about himself if Moicano, we got the spelling as well, doesn't become champion, exactly. We got Jonah B. How do you get Moicano out of Moicano? It's hilarious. Mecadamio, big up his other Z's. But Dana probably thinks highly of him, so Papa is jealous. Yeah, that's a good point too. He probably has a better relationship with Dana than Dana has with anybody else, you'd imagine. Coiler, $1 doesn't go longer. It's the opposite. You redact. Big up Brendan Mallory. Papa probably already blew his check on a neon orange truck with exactly, or maybe some neon orange fucking car parts actually. Like new suspensions, no one ever see. We got Apex Potter. Moicano truck walked his baddie. Yeah, for sure. 100%. That would explain a lot, if that was the case. That would explain a lot. If that happened, that would explain so fucking much. That would explain so fucking much if that was the case. Oh, yeah.